Hello everyone, so today's live session is for IGCSE Mathematics B candidates, and this will be based on matrix transformation. And as you guys know that we need to cover 4 types of matrix transformation, which are reflection, rotation, enlargement, and translation, right? So it's just that you will get a question based on triangle or trapezium, whatever the situation is. It's just the initial position is the initial situation or initial shape is your object, and then you need to just transform it into a different thing. So that will be your image. So we get 2 types of question. First one is that we get a lot of information, like they will ask you to actually convert transform triangle A to triangle B through because of reflection or rotation or enlargement, whatever it is. And then there is the second type of question where you already have the diagram, and then you need to describe whether it's enlargement, whether there's a change in the size. In that case it's enlargement. If you see that it's that they are mirror image of each other, in that case it's reflection. So I have already uploaded 6 or 7 videos based on description part, where you have to identify the type of transformation, and then based on that you need to explain the criteria. For example, for line of for reflection, you need to mention the line of reflection. For enlargement, we need to mention the center, the scale factor, and then sign of scale factor. It can be positive or it can also be negative. So you can check out those videos for the descriptive portion, and the basic stuff is also covered in the last video I have uploaded, which is matrix in 30 minutes. And in today's live session, I will be covering the recent paper problems, 2021 and 2022. All the matrix related problem from IGCSE Math B paper 2 questions, including the normal papers and the R papers. So I'm starting with Jan 22. Jan 22 Math B paper 2. And all these papers are compiled in one single file. This you will get this post where the papers are compiled in one single PDF file. You can download that, which includes the recent papers from 2020 to 22, all the paper 1 and paper 2 papers. So let's start. So this is from Jan 22. Jan 22, number 3. Math B, paper 2, Jan 22, number 3. So I will be solving the complete math for this Jan 22 paper, then R paper, then October 21, and then for May 21, Jan 21, and Jan 21 R paper, we will be solving the difficult portions, part D and part E, where you will need information which I have already used the values from the mark scheme. So we will see those problems later. Let me start with Jan 22. Jan 22, paper 2, number 3. So in this question, we already have these 2 triangles, triangle A and B, and we need to reflect this triangle A. Triangle B is the image of triangle A in the line y equals to minus x. So first of all, we need to draw the line y equals to minus x. So as we know that y equals to x is just this line, which passes through the origin and goes directly from the middle, right? So it's like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. But then again, if you want to actually be very sure about what you are drawing, in that case, you can always draw a table. Suppose I'm selecting 1, 2, 3. So for x equals to 1, the y will be minus 1. X equals to 2, y is minus 2, y is minus 3. So using this kind of table, you can actually draw this line accurately, which will pass through the origin. You can draw a scale, you can join them using a scale This is the line you are supposed to get. This is y equals minus x. Okay, so we need to transform this, we need to shift this triangle A along this line of reflection, which is y equals to minus x in our case. And as we know that for an inclined line of reflection, since this is an inclined line of reflection, you need to move horizontally and then you need to move vertically, right? So I will just count the distance, as in we need to draw the image of these 3 points individually. You can draw, you can use a tracing paper, but then again, I will just show you the steps. So for this one, if let's start with this. So if I need to find the image of this point, so we need to calculate the distance, as in this point, the distance between this point and the line of reflection. So I will move horizontally first and then vertically. So if I start calculating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have moved 7 units horizontally. So next I will, to get the image of this point, I will move vertically 7 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the point. Similarly for this one, we need to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next, this is horizontal 5 units. So that's why we will move vertically 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also say that this is vertical, but I could have actually used the point above this line, right? We can also move up. We could have also moved upward, but then again, object and image are always on the opposite side of the line of reflection. So if you draw somewhere over here, in that case, your object and image will be on the same side of the line of reflection. They're supposed to be on the opposite side. So that's why I have moved vertically downward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next for this part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I will move 15 units vertically downward. So this is the point. So then again, you can always remove this counting portions and then join the final points. Use a scale to join them. So this is supposed to be my triangle B. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for some reason, the answer doesn't match. Let me just cross check. Wait. This is Jan 22. Jan 22, number 3. Let me just cross check the coordinates for triangle B. Yeah, it's done. Correct. Okay, so I'm done with part A. Next, you need to draw triangle C. Triangle A is transformed into triangle C under the translation. So for translation, we know that it's just a shift in position, right? So the formula for that is object plus vector. So A is transformed to C. It means A is our object and C is the image. So I will be using the coordinates of triangle A. So from the diagram, you can just select, you can just read the coordinates here. So, so this one is 2, 5. Then we have this one 4, 1, and the last one 8, 7. So these are the coordinates of triangle A, which is my object, and vector is given. But since we are dealing with triangles, we have 3 vertices. So that's why I will be writing this vector thrice. -9, -2, -9, -2. As in number of row and column have to be same in case of translation, addition, or subtraction. As in for addition, subtraction of matrix, you need to have same number of rows and column. So you need to write this vector thrice. So then you just add them up. So 2 minus 9. So for each position, 2 minus 9, then 4 minus 9. For each of this position, you just add them up. You will get this final coordinates as -7, 3, -5, -1, -1, 5. Okay, so this is the coordinate for triangle C. So next I will just draw it here. It's triangle C. -7, -3, -7, 3. Then -5, -1, and then -1, 5. So that's triangle C. Again, next, we need to describe the single transformation that maps A into D. So the thing is, if we just look at triangle A and D, it's obvious that the size has changed, right? So it means it's basically enlargement. So you are getting 1 mark from here by mentioning that it's enlargement. And for enlargement, we need to mention the scale factors and the center. So if we start with the center thing, so to find out the center of enlargement, you just need to join the vertices of your object and image. So this is my object, that's my image. So I will just join them up, and then again, you need to join corresponding points. You cannot just join randomly. For example, I can clearly see that this pointed part is this one, so I need to join them. But it's obvious that this point is not here. This point is here, and that's there. So you need to join the individual parts. In questions where they actually label them as A, B, C, it's easier. Suppose if I actually use A, B, C to label each vertices, I'm using A, B, C. In that case, you can locate that B is here. So it's B prime. And then you can clearly see that this is the shorter side, right? Compared to BC, this BA is the shorter side. So from here, this part, this is the shorter one, right? So this is supposed to be A, and that's C. So you can always label them. I'm using A prime, C prime. Label them if you are confused about which point is transformed into which one. Okay, so now you can clearly see that I will just join the corresponding points. So I will be using this, I will join the C with C prime. Wait a minute. And then B prime and B. So wait a minute. So it's B prime. B prime and B, and then you can even join the last one, A prime and A. Okay, so if we look at this, we have this 0.6 minus 1. This is the center of enlargement. Next, you need the scale factor, which is the image by object. So scale factor is basically image by object, and A to D, right? So this one is your object, and triangle D is your image, as I have already labeled I and O. So for that, you can select any sides, okay? So if you actually calculate the distance, if you actually you have this coordinates, right? So if you actually calculate the distance AC using the formula root over x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus, that this is a lengthy process. I will show you the easier version, but let me just draw it first. Wait. So if you actually want to calculate the distance using this formula, since you know the coordinates of A and C, you can always calculate this distance AC, which will be actually 2 root 13. 2 root 13, and from here, if you calculate as A prime C prime, it will be root 13. So I by O, it means image, is the A prime C prime, which is root 13 divided by 2 root 13. So it's basically half. And since the object and image are on the this is the center, right? Object and image are on the opposite side of the center, right? The center is in between them. So that's why we need to use a negative sign here, because object and image are on the opposite side. So it's basically minus 0.5. But this is actually lengthy. You can always use a shortcut method. For example, I will be using something like this. This is the side I'm working with, AC. So instead of calculating the actual distance of AC, I will just use the base here. As in, if I imagine a right angle triangle here, so I will just use the horizontal boxes here under this line AC. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And whereas for this one, it's 1 and 2, right? Just look at the horizontal boxes under this AC, A prime, C prime. So we have 2 boxes here and 4 boxes there. So it's 4 by, object, image by object. So 2 by 4. So half. And since opposite side, so minus half. So actually, you can always use the shortcut method to calculate this scale factor, because eventually you will get the result for the final, you will get mark for the final result only. So this is number 3 from Jan 22 paper 2 math B. Next we have Jan 22 paper 2 R. So triangle A is already drawn here, and we need to reflect that about x equals to minus 1. So this is my x equals to minus 1 line. So this one is easier. You just need to calculate the distance at the right side and then shift that point at the left side, right? Mirror image. So if I start with this, we have 2 boxes here, right? 1, 2. So from here, you just shift 2 units. So this is where I will get the point. So for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This point, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I remove this, I will get the final triangle. This is triangle B. So I'm done with part A. Next, triangle A is transformed to triangle C. 90-degree clockwise, about 0.10. So 10 is here, right? So when the center has changed, you need to draw a small x-axis, y-axis over here to indicate the new center. So the center is now 10. So you need to mention that in the diagram. So everything will be calculated from this point. For part B, everything will be calculated from 10. So triangle A will be reflected to triangle C. Sorry, will be transformed into triangle C. So I will just list down the coordinate of triangle A from this new center 10. So if I look at the coordinates, we have this point. from here you need to move 1 1, right? 1 1. Then if I need to go there, I need to move 2 unit horizontally as in x coordinate 2, and 1 2 3 4 4 unit vertically, so it's basically 2 4. And for this part it's actually 1 2 3, so 0 3. So I have calculated, I have just calculated the coordinate from the new center. So it's, I will just use this values here. So it's actually 1 1 2 4 and 0 3. Remember this part B, you need to solve this part B from 1 0 coordinate, 1 1 2 4 0 3, and it's 90° clockwise, right? So 90° clockwise rotation. And we know that for 90° clockwise rotation, it's just the conversion is like this, y minus x. So I will just flip this positions, 1 1 4 2 3 0, and then we have negative sign here, so 0 is 0. So 1 minus 1 4 minus 2 3 0. These are the coordinates of your image, which is triangle C. So this is triangle C, and the initial one is triangle A, and everything is from 1 0, because we are still solving part B where the center, new center is 1 0. So 1 minus 1, so 1 minus 1. From here, you move 1 unit towards right and then 1 unit vertical downward. So it's here. Then 4 minus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 here. Then 3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 0. So this is actually triangle C. And then again, if you check the mark scheme and all, you will get the coordinate from main origin. Okay, the answer will be given from the main origin, but you need to actually calculate everything from here. So if you need to cross check whether your math is correct or not, you can always check from the main origin point. So it's 2 minus 1 4 0, like that. Okay, so I'm done with part B. Then triangle B is transformed to triangle D under the translation this. So I will use the coordinate of B. This is your vector. So object plus vector. You need to just use the formula for translation, which I have already solved here. This one, part B. So this is similar to that. So I will be just using the values here. So image is object plus vector. Object is the coordinates of triangle B. So you just need to select this coordinates here. So it's minus 4 1, then minus 5 4, and then minus 3 3. And the vector, you need to write it thrice. So 2 minus 5, 2 minus 5, 2 minus 5. So if you simplify this, you will get the coordinates minus 2 minus 4, minus 3 minus 1, minus 1 minus 2. And this is the coordinate for triangle D. So I will be drawing that here. So minus 2, minus 4. And from here, the main origin is now 0 0. You are back to the normal origin once you are done with part B. So minus 2, minus 4, minus 3, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, like this. So this is triangle D. Okay, next, next triangle A is transformed to triangle E under the matrix transformation. So whenever you have this matrix, you can use the general formula, which is just that object, a matrix into object, right? Whenever you have the matrix, you just multiply that with the object to get the final result. So matrix is 1, 0, 0 minus 1, and object is supposed to be the triangle A. So triangle A, the coordinates of triangle A, you can pick that from this diagram. So it's 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4. Then you can just multiply this matrix, which is by selecting the rows and columns, right? So I guess you already know this, first row, first column, right? And inside this, you need to just multiply them. 1 into 2, 2, 1, 0 into 1, 0. Then for the second column, it's 1, 1, 0, 3. So 1 into 1, 0 into 3. Then for the third one, 1 into 3, 0 into 4. So I'm done with the first row. Then you need to start from the second row, first column. And then second column, third column. So the final result will be 2 minus 1, 1 minus 3, 3 minus 4. This is the triangle D. Sorry, triangle E. So I need to draw that here. So triangle E is actually 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, then 1 minus 3, then 3 minus 4. This is it, triangle E, sorry. So triangle E. And we need to, for the last portion, for the last one, describe the transformation. Triangle E is the image of triangle C under a single transformation. E is the image of C. So if we just look at this two triangle, it's pretty much obvious that it's the reflection, right? So you can clearly see that the line of reflection is supposed to be from the middle, right? Distance between the line of reflection and the object and image should be equal. So you can just join this point diagonally, diagonal of each box. So you can join them to get the line. But if you are confused, in that case, to find the line of reflection, you can use the detailed version. It's just that you join this two and draw the perpendicular bisector. You join this corresponding to and draw the perpendicular bisector. That will also give you the line of reflection. But then again, it's just that you need to mention the line of reflection, right? You cannot just draw it up and then you're done. No, you need to mention the equation of the line. So for this line, I can select any randomly 2 points. Suppose if you need to find the equation of this line, suppose I'm using 1, 0 and 0, 1. Sorry, 0, 1, 1, 0. So from the line, you can select randomly any 2 points, and then you just draw the, find the equation of the line. So the first point is that it's reflection. And now I just need the equation, right? So at first you calculate the gradient. Using this 2 point, you just calculate the gradient. And then y minus y1, gradient x minus x1. Solving this will give us this line of reflection. So reflection about line y plus x plus y equals to 1. So I'm done with Jan 22 paper 2R. Next, this is from October 21. This is a bit difficult. Not difficult, I would say it's different because we have to deal with trapezium in this case. So for number 5, we have this trapezium B. A and B already given. So describe fully the single transformation. Okay. So if we compare this to triangles, trapeziums, we can clearly see that it's a change in size. So change in size means it's actually enlargement. So the first part is its enlargement. Next, you need to mention the center and the scale factor, right? So for the center, like I said, you need to join the corresponding points, right? You need to join the corresponding points. So if I just join these 2 points, then if I join this, let me just join 2 or 3 points, okay? You can obviously join all the 4 vertices, but then again, it's not intersecting, right? So when you see that the lines after joining the corresponding point are not intersecting, in that case, you need to extend them. So you just extend this one. Okay, so you just need to extend this. So using the scale, you just extend them and you will see every line will pass through origin. So the center in our case is actually 0, 0. Next, I need the scale factor, which is image by object, right? So B is the image of A, right? B is the image and A is the object. So this is object, that's image. So you can select any side. Suppose I'm selecting this horizontal side. So the distance is 2 box, so 2, whereas this is 1. So 2 by 1, 1. And in this case, the scale factor is 1, not -1, because you can clearly see the object and image are on the same side of the center. Whereas the one we solved earlier and in this one, the center was in between the object and image. That's why the scale factor was negative. So 5A is done. Okay, 5A is done. Next, for 5B, trapezium C is the image of A, reflection about x equals to -1. So I will just draw this x equals -1 line here. So you can even join a straight line instead of dotted. It's better to join like this. So x equals to -1. I will be reflecting triangle a trapezium A. So I will shift each and every single point. So this one, if you shift it at the 2 unit here, so 2 unit at the left side. Then this one is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 3 units. So you just count the boxes. That's it. To shift this one, we have 2 boxes at the right side. So 2 box here. This one is 3 box. So 3 box. So this is the trapezium C. Okay, next A is transformed to D under the matrix. So matrix is given. You just need to multiply trapezium A. So matrix into object. So matrix is -2, 0, 0, -1. And object is the trapezium A. So you need to select the coordinates here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3. Then this is 2, 3. This is 2, 1. Then you just multiply the row column multiplication thing, which I have already shown here for part D. So after multiplying this, you will get the final coordinate of trapezium D, which is 2, -2, -2, -3, -4, -3, -4, -1. This is trapezium D. Next, for part D, trapezium D is transformed to trapezium B under the transformation matrix N, find matrix N. So D will be transformed to B because of matrix N. So if I just write the formula, it should be like this: image equals matrix into object. So image is B and object is D, right? So it's just that since I do not know the matrix, let's assume it to be A, B, C, D, and object is the triangle D, trapezium D. So I'm using the coordinates of trapezium D, and then the image is trapezium B. So you cannot just pick randomly since I have selected this as the first point, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for trapezium B, you need to move like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because if you do not mix the sequence of the coordinates you are selecting. So trapezium B, 2, 4, 2, 6, 4, 6, 4, 2. Okay, so this one is a little bit lengthy. You can actually form the equations here. So row column, so it's minus 2a minus 2b. Then the next one is minus 2a minus 3b. So we will get extra two equations here. And for CD, it's minus 2c minus 2d. Then minus 2c minus 3d. You will get extra two equations here. But then again, I won't be writing each and every single thing here because eventually we do not need all the four values of all the four positions here. Okay, so you can just compare the location and get the simultaneous equations. So minus 2a minus 2b equals to 2, minus 2a minus 3b equals to 2. So you just directly use the calculator since mark is just 2 or 3, right? We just have 3 marks here. So you can, I would say just solve the simultaneous equation. You will get the value for a and b. So a is minus 1, b is 0. And then for the second pair, this minus 2c minus 2d equals to 4. Minus 2c minus 3d equals to 6. So solving them, you will get the value for c and d, which are 0, minus 2. And the matrix was what? A, B, C, D, right? So you just use the values of A, B, C, D. So this is the matrix. So I'm done with October 21. Can you help with P3, P4 candidate? P4, it's just that the syllabus is huge. So let me just mention some topic name. I will try to go live based on those specific topic. So this is October 21. Okay, the next, so I'm done solving the complete math. Next, for May 21 and Jan 21 and Jan 21R, I will be just solving the last part, the difficult one. And the answer which I already need, it's already given here. For P2 proof, listen, you just need to follow the proof which we have already covered in P2. Okay, for P4, we just mainly have proof by contradiction and all. So I would suggest just knock me. I will just give you the link for P2 contradiction live. I have already done one live session on based on all the recent proof related problems from P2 recent papers, 2020, 21, 22. So based on contradiction or proof by exhaustion, deduction, contradiction, I have already uploaded 2 individual videos and one live session is already saved on Facebook and on my YouTube channel, which covers all the recent paper problems of P2 related proof. And since P4 and P2 proof syllabus is same, you can always solve those problems for extra practice. Since there's no difference in the syllabus of P2, P4 proof, you must solve actually those questions because you have very few selected problems based on proof. And we just have 3 or 4 past papers for P4, right? So it's better to solve the P2 questions. So for this one, I will be just discussing part D. So describe the single transformation A to D. So A is the object, D is the image. It's visible that it's enlargement. The first point is enlargement. You get 1 mark from here. Then for the center and scale factor, right? So scale factor, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 boxes, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So scale factor is 2, and let me just find the center first, because sign of scale factor depends on the center, right? So this point is here. That's, you must join them using a scale. For the time being, I'm just, this is what, May 21. And the last one. So most probably it's supposed to be somewhere over here, 6, 2. That's the center, and the object and image are on the opposite side, so that's why -2. Scale factor, the final values should be written down as -2 because object and image are on the opposite side. Proof কিছু পারি না। প্রুফ তুমি এই করো, স্টুডেন্টস বুকটা খুলো, তোমার P4 এর এক্সারসাইজ যে ছিল না, চ্যাপ্টার ফার্স্ট চ্যাপ্টারটা, ওইটার মধ্যে কিছু আছে এক্সারসাইজ প্রবলেম। স্টুডেন্টস বুকের সলিউশন দেখে ওটা প্র্যাকটিস করতে পারো। লিমিটেড বেশি দেয় না, কিন্তু মেইনলি কন্ট্রাডিকশনই দেয়। P4 এ খুব একটা ঝামেলা করে না কিন্তু। নেক্সট Jan 21 পেপার 2। মাথার উপর দিয়ে যায়। কন্ট্রাডিকশনটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি বাজে। কন্ট্রাডিকশনের জন্য, কন্ট্রাডিকশনের মেইন ভিডিওটা দেখো, 3টা স্টেপসে মেবি আমি ভেঙে ভেঙে দিছিলাম, যেভাবে ভাবে করে ফেলবা তাহলে দেখবা হয়ে যাচ্ছে। মানে ওরা যা বলে তার অপোজিটটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়। আচ্ছা, next Jan 21 paper 2 number 9. I will just solve part F. Okay, I will directly solve part F. So in this case, the single transfer, so initially triangle B, if we look at this, for part E, we had to describe the transformation that maps triangle B into C. So it's reflection, right? Reflection about x-axis. Reflection about x-axis. So that's part E. For part F, they are saying that single transformation that maps B to C is represented by n. Find the matrix n square. So this is a little bit tricky. You can actually use the detailed version. The detailed version is like this. Reflection about x-axis, right? So n square is what? n, right? So matrix n into matrix n, and reflection about x-axis. The matrix for reflection about x-axis, you have a table which lists all the matrix for individual transformation, matrix about x-axis, reflection about x-axis, reflection about y-axis, individual transformation এর জন্য আলাদা matrix এর নাম জানার, মানে ভ্যালুটা জানা থাকার কথা। বাট দেন এগেইন যদি তুমি নাও জানো ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল এগুলোর জন্য মেট্রিক্সটা কত সেটা বের করার জন্য একটা ভিডিও আমার লিস্ট চ্যানেলে আছে, সেটা দেখে নিতে পারো। ঠিক আছে, সো ইটস সাপোজ টু বি 1 0 0 -1। ঠিক আছে, এটা টেবিল থেকে দেখে মেমোরাইজ করতে পারো, অথবা এটা কিভাবে বের করে যে রিফ্লেকশন অ্যাবাউট এক্স এক্সিস এর মেট্রিক্সটা কত, ওয়াই এক্সিস এর মেট্রিক্সটা কত, রোটেশন 90 ডিগ্রিটা কত, ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালটা কিভাবে বের করে সেটার একটা ভিডিও আছে, রাইটিং মেট্রিক্স, এটা মেবি টাইটেলটা দেখে নিও, মেট্রিক্স এর প্লে লিস্টে পাচ্ছ। এটা যখন তুমি মাল্টিপ্লাই করবা ইউ উইল গেট দ্য ভ্যালু ফর 1 0 0 1। এখন আমি এটা একটা শর্টকাট দেখাচ্ছি। শর্টকাট ইজ দ্যাট বেসিক্যালি B to C, for converting B to C, you are using n, right? So if you are multiplying n square, so you go from B to C, and then for the second n you return from C to B, মানে n in n স্কয়ার মানে দুইবার ম্যাট্রিক্সটা মাল্টিপ্লাই হচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে? একবার যখন n দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই করতেছি ইউ আর কনভার্টিং b ইনটু c, দেন যখন n দিয়ে আবার মাল্টিপ্লাই করতেছো তখন c টা আবার b তে ব্যাক করে। সো তুমি অরিজিনাল পজিশনে রিপিটেটিভ অরিজিনাল পজিশনটাতেই ব্যাক করতেছো। সো অরিজিনাল পজিশনে যদি ব্যাক করো তার মানে b থেকে c যাওয়ার পর c থেকে b, ইভেনচুয়ালি ইউ আর অলরেডি অ্যাট b, তুমি আর চেঞ্জ হচ্ছ না। সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই চেঞ্জ হয় না কখন, when you multiply something with identity matrix, তখন কিন্তু কিছু চেঞ্জ হয় না, ঠিক আছে? সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই আইডেন্টিটি ম্যাট্রিক্স কত তোমার? আইডেন্টিটি ম্যাট্রিক্স হচ্ছে 1001, মানে ইউনিট, ইউনিট যেটা একদম একটার জন্য কত, সো 1001, সো দিস ইজ n স্কয়ার। এটা শর্টকাট মেথড, এটা যদি বুঝো তাহলে দিবে, আদারওয়াইজ তোমার এই ডিটেইলড ভার্সনে করতে হবে। নেক্সট, number 7. So this is from Jan 21 paper to our paper. So এখানে I have already used the triangles, part A, B, C তে যা যা থাকার কথা সেগুলো আমি অলরেডি দিয়ে রাখলাম। I will just directly solve part D and E. The most important one here, triangle B is the image of C under the transformation P. আচ্ছা, একটা জিনিস দেখে রাখি, triangle, we have initially triangle A. A is transformed to B. A to B because of M. Then B to C because of M. Okay. Then you have because of N. Okay, so the situation is A to B and then B to C. Already এগুলো done. হ্যাঁ, এখন আমি এইখান থেকে দেখাচ্ছি। What is the matrix P? Triangle B is the image of triangle C under the transformation matrix P. So basically B is the image of C. So তার মানে C থেকে B তে যেতে হবে, C থেকে B তে যেতে হবে। So তুমি যদি এই শর্টকাট মেথডটা দেখে নাও যে C থেকে B তে যেতে হবে, so clearly বোঝা যাচ্ছে because of matrix n, B থেকে C তে যাচ্ছ, C থেকে B তে যদি ব্যাক করতে চাও তার মানে ইনভার্স ম্যাট্রিক্স লাগবে, রিটার্ন আসতে চাচ্ছ, সো ইনভার্সটা করলে তুমি পেয়ে যাচ্ছ। আর এই নতুন ব্যাক করার জন্য যে ম্যাট্রিক্স, ওকে নাম দিচ্ছে P, which is basically the inverse one. সো তুমি ম্যাট্রিক্স P বের করা মানেই n ইনভার্স বের করা, ঠিক আছে? সো n এখানে অলরেডি আছে, আর ইনভার্স কিভাবে বের করে, ফর্মুলাটা এরকম, রাইট? তোমার এখানে লোকেশন চেঞ্জ হয় এ আর ডি এর, আর এদের দুজনের সাইন চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে, ঠিক না? সো এগুলো আমরা জানি, সো আমি এটা জাস্ট এখানে বসাচ্ছি। সো এখানে হাফ হাফ, আর এখানে সাইনটা চেঞ্জ, সো এটা যখন সলভ করব we get 2 here, দেন এই ব্র্যাকেটটা যা আছে তাই 2 দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই করলে তোমার সব হাফ গুলো ক্যান্সেল হয়ে যাবে, 1 minus 1 1 1. So that's the part D. Next, for part E, A is transformed to C under matrix transformation Q. আচ্ছা, এখন একটা জিনিস বলি, ম্যাথটা যখন থেকে শুরু হয় একদম স্টার্ট থেকে আমরা দেখলাম যে A to B হচ্ছে because of matrix M, আবার B to C হচ্ছে because of N। এখন suddenly they are asking us to transfer A to C directly, A to C directly. So তুমি at a time দুইটা ম্যাট্রিক্স যদি ইনটু করে দাও, ইন দ্যাট কেস তুমি MN যদি করো একবারে A থেকে C তে চলে যাবা, B পাচ্ছ না। সো ওই A থেকে C ডিরেক্টলি যেতে চাইলে বেসিক্যালি MN বের করতে হবে, কম্বিনেশন অফ টু ম্যাট্রিক্স, যেটাকে ওরা নাম দিচ্ছে Q। সো Q যেটা একবারে যাওয়ারটা, বেসিক্যালি ইটস আ কম্বিনেশন অফ বোথ M and N। সো Q এর ভ্যালু পেতে হলে জাস্ট মাল্টিপ্লাই M and N। MN তুমি জানো, MN এখানে দেয়া আছে, ম্যাট্রিক্স গুলো বসে মাল্টিপ্লাই করে ফেললে you will get the final result. So I'm done with this one. Next, yeah, more or less I'm done. So this is the live session based on for IGCSE Math B candidates. I've covered Jan 22 R paper, normal paper, then May 21, October 21, Jan 21, Jan 21 R, I guess, wait. Yeah. Okay, so in total, we have covered 6 questions. So 2021 and 2022. So that's the end of today's live session. So we just solved all the recent matrix related problems from Math B paper 2 questions. Okay. So most probably I will do the next live session for pure math candidates. So see you in the next live session. Goodbye.